at exactly the same minute every night. While the rest of America was distracted by glowing screens, roaring engines, and dreams wrapped in luxury. A quiet house on the edge of a Midwestern town followed a darker ritual. The clock did not tick loudly. The walls did not creak. But the child's body knew the hour before any machine announced it. Her pulse changed first, then her breathing, then a faint tightening in her muscles as if time itself had learned how to touch her skin. Outside that house, the United States celebrated excess and brilliance. Highways gleamed beneath neon lights, carrying machines worth more than homes' vehicles sculpted like moving crowns of power. Inside the house, however, power took a different form. It came in silence, in needles, in timing so precise it felt almost sacred. And no one suspected that the truth would one day connect these two worlds, the world of unimaginable luxury and the world of a child whose body became evidence. Her name was Emily Hale, and she was 10 years old when her transformation became impossible to ignore. Emily's father, Jonathan Hale, was admired in ways that rarely invited scrutiny. He worked in high-end automotive logistics, moving the rarest luxury vehicles between private collectors, auction houses, and elite garages across the United States. He spoke casually about machines that most people only saw in magazines' cars, whose names sounded like myths whispered in metal. When Jonathan arrived at school events in different vehicles, no one questioned him. Why would they? America trusted success, especially when it came polished, roaring, and wrapped in leather. Emily used to love those cars. As a younger child, she would trace their curves with her eyes, describing them as if they were medieval knights reborn in steel. A Rolls-Royce Phantom, she once said, looked like a king's carriage dragged into the modern age. A Bentley Mulsanne reminded her of a fortress on wheels. Jonathan smiled at these observations, pleased by her imagination. He often said machines had souls if you understood them well enough, but imagination faded when the injections began. At first, Jonathan called it a medical necessity. He spoke of regulation, balancing, and preventive care. He chose the same hour each night, claiming the body responded best to consistency. Emily believed him. Children often do. Her trust was as quiet as the ritual itself. A chair by the window, a sleeve rolled up, the faint sting, then heaviness, then sleep. Outside, America continued admiring excess. The Mercedes-Maybach S-Class, with its reclining seats and whisper-quiet cabin, symbolized comfort taken to its absolute extreme. The Cadillac Celestiq, handcrafted in the US, represented American luxury reborn with futuristic confidence. Jonathan dealt in these worlds daily, arranging deliveries so smooth they felt ceremonial. Precision was his language. That same precision shaped what he did to his daughter. By the third month, Emily's teachers noticed her drifting away. Her gaze lingered too long on nothing. Her hands trembled slightly when she wrote. Once athletic, she now avoided movement, as if her body no longer trusted itself. Her school counselor suggested stress. Jonathan nodded, explaining she was sensitive and undergoing treatment. Treatment became a word that protected him. The changes were gradual, almost artistic in their subtlety. Like a medieval fresco slowly darkening with age, Emily's health faded layer by layer. She lost weight, then color, then curiosity. Her classmates talked about dream cars and future lives. Emily struggled to remember yesterday. Her body carried a rhythm that did not belong to childhood anymore. Meanwhile, Jonathan attended private auto showings in California and New York, in climate-controlled rooms. He stood beside machines like the Bugatti Chiron Supersport, a car engineered beyond reason, capable of speeds that defied instinct. He admired how engineers forced metal, fuel, and time into obedience, how systems responded when controlled perfectly. He often thought of these cars as experiments that succeeded. He never noticed how often that word appeared in his thoughts. The first crack appeared not through confrontation, but through observation. A school nurse noticed faint marks on Emily's arm, small healed, recurring in the same location. They were too consistent to be accidental. When asked, Emily hesitated. She said only that her father helped her feel normal. In America, normal is often shaped by appearances. Jonathan looked normal. More than that, he looked enviable. When he arrived to pick Emily up in a Lamborghini Revelto, its angular body catching sunlight like armor, the nurse said nothing. Machines like that carried authority. They silenced doubt, but bodies do not lie forever. Emily collapsed during a school assembly. Her muscles stiffened, breath shallow, heart racing and then slowing unnaturally. At the hospital, doctors ran tests that did not match the story Jonathan told. Her blood chemistry showed patterns that suggested repeated exposure to substances carefully timed, carefully measured, not enough to kill, enough to change. One physician, Dr. Elaine Parker, noticed something deeper. Emily's body reacted not just to chemicals, but to expectation. Her stress hormones rose before nighttime. Her nervous system anticipated harm before it arrived. This was conditioning. Jonathan explained everything calmly. He spoke as confidently as he did when discussing a Porsche 911 Turbo S, a machine famous for blending comfort with terrifying precision. He said control mattered, consistency mattered, timing mattered. He insisted Emily was safer under his care than under anyone else's uncertainty. And for a moment, America's systems hesitated, because wealth, confidence, and complexity often confuse truth. Emily returned home. That night, at the same hour, the ritual continued. What no one knew was that Dr. Parker had begun documenting everything, not emotionally, but structurally. Like an engineer dismantling a machine, she mapped Emily's symptoms against time. And the pattern was perfect. Perfect patterns do not happen by accident. The investigation did not explode into headlines. It unfolded quietly, like an ancient tapestry, revealing its hidden figures only when studied closely. Authorities compared pharmacy purchases, shipment logs, and delivery schedules tied to Jonathan's work. They noticed something strange. Alongside legitimate automotive cargo, Jonathan had been receiving temperature-controlled packages unrelated to cars, small, frequent, timed. In America's world of luxury vehicles, timing is everything. A Rolls-Royce boat tail worth tens of millions is delivered with choreography worthy of royalty. Jonathan understood this better than most. He applied the same discipline to his private life. Precision became obsession. Experts eventually identified the substances Emily had been exposed to legal individually, devastating in sequence. Her body had been slowly suppressed, reshaped, weakened. Not to heal, but to comply. Jonathan believed that human biology, like engineering, could be optimized through repetition. When confronted, he did not scream, he explained. He spoke of control, of order, of how America worshipped machines that could be perfected while accepting human unpredictability as fate. He compared Emily's body to a system needing calibration. The way a Tesla Model S Plaid recalibrates software overnight to become faster, better, more obedient. He believed he was improving her. The courtroom later would struggle with this explanation, but because it was insane, but because it was chillingly rational. Emily was removed from his care. Recovery was slow, uncertain, and incomplete. Some changes could not be reversed. But something remarkable happened. Once the injections stopped, her body began reclaiming time. Her pulse stabilized. Her memory returned in fragments. Her fear loosened its grip. America watched the case unfold with fascination and horror. Commentators compared it to the nation's obsession with perfection: faster cars, quieter cabins, softer leather, tighter control. The Range Rover SV, the Aston Martin DB12, the Lucid Air Sapphire, all symbols of how far the pursuit of refinement could go. Emily became a quiet countersymbol. Years later, she would sit in a museum exhibition on automotive history, staring at machines once associated with her father. She did not hate them. She understood them differently. She saw beauty and danger coexisting, like medieval paintings where saints and monsters shared the same frame. Her story became a warning America needed, that obsession with control, precision, and luxury, when applied without humanity, turns progress into cruelty. And every night, when the hour passed without pain, Emily learned something machines never could: that survival is not optimization, that healing is not control, and that the human body remembers the truth long after lies are forgotten. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. I'll see you again in another new video. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye for now. and thank you.